So this is back together, but it is working this time.
It's true for the tiniest human interactions.
I gotta clean that socket still. Should have done that before. That was my problem child last time. So, it looks like it's behaving quite well. This is now working better after I repaired it than the other one I worked on. Now, I'm curious to see. Alright, so I'm going to show you this rascal. That was bad. I'll show you those shortly, but I've checked all of the resistors, replaced any that were not healthy, and that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5? Yeah, 5 of those I replaced, along with all the caps. Obviously, I haven't run any tubes through the tube tester. The way this is performing, it leads me to believe that everything is okay. So, at this point, I'm just going to say, okay, it's okay. Checking some stuff out, I want to show you. I was kind of surprised. I know, I've seen quite a few things that were not healthy. Let's see here. So there should be one more caster besides that one. I think I threw it out, but who knows. Alright, so this is what I took out of it. I'm going to start with the worst one first. Alright, so I want to, well, back up. I'm experimenting with using 2 cameras, one of which is my cell phone, the other one which is my normal camera. But anyway, these are the capacitors that I took out of this thing. And this one, it doesn't tell you, I think it says Micromold type 3345. I believe the color shows you what this is, and I think mica is black. This may be paper. I'm not sure. But, I'll see how bad. I'll let you see how bad this is. And I think this is a 0.01 if I remember right. Okay, so let's go up here. First of all, we're going to go around 25 volts. So that's where we're looking. Oh, by the way, there's a switch here. Paper mica, electrolytic. So if you have this set to electrolytic, the reading you get up here is not going to be correct. I think in particular if you're trying to measure the value. This actually probably is not affected by that, but this definitely is if you have that set in the wrong place. So here we go, 25 volts. Yeah, that's not going to work. There we are. Alright, 25 volts. Bang, that sucker is leaky. Now if I go to, it's 0.01 I said. 0.01. So that should be here. I think you can see it kind of moving there a little bit. So 0.01 is here, 0.02, 0.05, 0.1. Looks like it's very close to 0.2. So this thing is way out of value and definitely very leaky. So this had to go, and this was an across the line cap. I think went from line to chassis. I think that's where that went. It was in the, it was connected to the AC line on one end. I remember that, and I'm pretty sure the other end went to ground. Let me just take a quick look if I can. Where are you? Yeah, there it is. Let's see. And, yeah, 0.01 right there. So, definitely bad. I don't know what the voltage rating is on this. The code probably tells you, and I don't know the code well enough. This is a 0.05, 400 volt. Let's see here. So we'll go back up here. That's a 0.05. We're almost there. And yeah, 0.05 is here. It's down here. That's 0.1, so that's way out. Let's see how we do on this. Yeah, it's not great. It's all sort of closed. Definitely not. 400 volt cap, and it's really, really bad. So the value is doubled, and it's leaky. So let's go with this one. 01, 440 volts. Yes. 0.01. Alright. So. Alright. And I might as well just, well, what the heck. That doesn't look terrible. And then you go there. Remember, that's a 400 volt cap. At 150, it's definitely not happy. Let's go to 0.01. Huh. Wow. That, starting from about there. Let's see. Yeah, from between there and there, I see the eye adjust a little bit. So if I kind of went in the middle, let's say it's 0.02. So it's very leaky, and also when the C3 won't read it, that's a good sign that the capacitor is toast. Alright, so this one is 0.01 also. 0.01. Nope. Well, it's right about there. So that's probably 0.017, something like that. And again, you can barely read it, which means that this thing will be leaky. Guaranteed. Yes, definitely leaky. So it's leaky and it's off value. Not by a lot, but it's still off value. This looks like a capacitor that was replaced. It doesn't look like the others. And it's a 0.01 also, 600 volts. Is this from that? I think it is. But anyway. Alright, and this is a 0.01. Well, let's see, I'm here, so let's do that. Actually, this may not be to this. I've got I misplaced some of these. Well, doesn't matter. Bottom line is these capacitors needed to go. And then let's get down to the resistors. Let's see. All right. Let's see what we got here. So this one was supposed to be 680? Yeah, 680. Or 68, I mean. 239. A 68 ohm resistor is reading 239. That's probably one of the worst ones I've ever seen. Alright, this is supposed to be a 1K, I believe. And 18. So it's almost doubled in value. What is this one? Also 1K. And it's also doubled in value. This one is supposed to be 470, I think, 470. Oh, it's an overachiever. It's not as bad as the other, or underachiever. It's not as bad as the others. So it's 100 ohms more than it's supposed to be. So that got replaced. I just figured it's not going to improve with age, so. I mean, 10% of, what was that? Yeah. 10% of 470 would have been 47, and it does have silver on the end. So it was more than double, outside the appropriate value by more than double. So, so this little thing is actually working quite nicely. Now, it's interesting, I was reading articles about this and the Fidello tuner, and some of the comments on the Fidello tuner told me that it tended to drift more than some of the others. The one I had seems to be pretty good. Oh, the other thing I wanted to do with this was, I want to clean the socket for that. That's really sloppy. I don't think there's any way to tighten that up either. Yeah, I guess there is. So I'm using my little screwdriver just to get down there and wedge it over a little bit, try to tighten it up some. Come on. That socket felt really sloppy. Now this may not be a good idea. We'll see in a minute. I really, really, really don't want to have to replace the socket. That would be a pain. So, yeah. I was really close to doing that on this one over here. The problem was I didn't have one of the things that you'll notice on all of these sockets is they have a center ground pin. There's a pin in the middle, and it's grounded to the chassis. And I'm pretty sure you want that in there. So even though I had 7-pin sockets, they weren't grounded like that. So I would have had to get that to resolve the problem with that socket if I hadn't been able to get it to work. But thankfully I finally did. And so I just want to see if that quick. You notice that I start with that. Yeah, talk much. Brain, tired brain. You notice that if you've watched, especially my recent videos, I'll go for the cleaner first. It makes the most sense because it actually works for a lot of the things I try it on. So it only makes sense to try that first, and then you go to the more drastic measures. I'm trying to remember. I have a acetylene torch, and I have torch cleaning wire, or torch cleaning tool with little various size knurled wires that you slide through the tip to clean it. And I don't know if I want that. Okay, so it doesn't really matter if I got something playing or not. So you notice, well, I use this little screwdriver to tighten the pins up, and it did help. Actually, I can feel a difference in the tension. And of course, shooting the cleaner in there. Sometimes you have to work the tube in and out of the socket more to get it to clean up. Or I actually used a little screwdriver like this at one point, getting in there and scraping it, and I tried all kinds of things to try to get that to work. Once I found out that was my problem. So anyway, I think this one's ready to go. The case, where did I put it? The case needs some help. They must have had this at a tag sale or something, and they put a tag on it. Thank you so much. It's got some other stuff on here. But I have Restore Finish, and I'm going to try that on this first. The case has been beat up a little bit, but this has been around. When was this from? I don't know. At least since I'm thinking in the 50s. I should know that. I don't. Yeah, they don't. It's really disappointing when they don't put dates on any of the documentation. But they don't, so even PhotoFax, which gives you lots more details about it. Oh, this is older than I thought. Date 11/47. So yeah. Okay, so it wasn't quite in the 50s. Yeah, so this has been around a long time. Yeah. Thank you, PhotoFax, for giving me that helpful information. So, I think with a little effort, this could clean up. This corner has been beat a little bit. And I probably should put some paint around the edge of this if I want to bring it back. But that means I have to sand this if I want to make it look right. But what I might try is cleaning the top off and then coating it with the Restore Finish and see how that looks. If it looks good enough, then I might go through the trouble of fixing this. And inside here, this is all kind of nicked up. Of course, this plastic piece has to come out and get fixed, get cleaned up. Yeah, so at least the plastic is still there. I mean, when I was looking at this, I was wondering where the plastic was, because it was leaning back inside and I didn't see it. So thankfully it's there. So that's a plus. So yeah, these are fairly simple, as long as there's nothing seriously wrong with them. There's not a lot to them. There's we saw the small number of components I wound up putting in these to restore it. That one, or this one actually. So yeah, they're neat little units. Like I said, they don't have AFC, and sometimes that's a little bit annoying because they do drift. They can. So if you don't like that, then I wouldn't get one of these, but they're kind of neat, and they work pretty well. They receive pretty well, and down in the basement where I am, I don't know if this, let me just do something here. Oh. Okay, I don't know where I'm at with this. It's been quite a while since I've done anything with this. But I did get some stuff done, and I'm ready to put this back together. But I wanted to show you, first of all, how it came out. I used the Store Finish, and on this part of it, I used the Golden Oak. And it's amazing what it did for that. And then, I'm not sure if this is a good idea, but I think that's okay. I used the dark walnut on the front, and they don't sponsor me. I'm not big enough to be sponsored by anybody. I polished the plastic with some plastic polish. I'm happy with how it came out. It's a lot clearer than it started out. I didn't really expect that. Now, a couple things I need to mention though is, yes, this looks a whole lot better. And those of you who have been, yeah, never mind. As you've just seen, the last picture of this was not great. But the finish is missing in spots. It definitely is. So if you really, really, really wanted to resolve this, you would have to sand this off and then put a new varnish on this. Which brings me to my next point. I repainted this, and I did it by mixing, I don't know where I put those. Oh, yes. I didn't quite get what I wanted, but I've got a couple of hobby paints, acrylic, and I mixed brown and black together to try to get, I wanted a dark brown. This came out a little bit too dark, but I'm not going to change it because I think it looks okay. This was pretty well shot, and so but where I was headed with my original thought was I taped the front of this because I was trying to carefully paint this without tape, and that just wasn't going to happen, which is kind of what I expected. So I taped this off, and I used, where is it? Okay, painter's tape. This is the blue Scotch blue, but a painter's tape is far better than using masking tape. And if you don't know what masking tape is, where did I put it? I don't know what I did with it. I have some. There it is. This is masking tape. It's got much more aggressive adhesive on it. And what it can do is this varnish or whatever it is this has on here, well, let's just say it's probably not as securely attached to the wood as it might be. So if you take a piece of masking tape on here and you leave it for any length of time, even if you remove it immediately, you'll probably get that. You can actually remove the old finish, the old varnish from the wood. So that's obviously not what you want to do. This doesn't. You have to hit this some more, or polish it some more. Now they have a wax that you can put on this, and I've tried it in the past, and I'm debating about whether I want to do it or not because this is fairly shiny. It looks nice, but yeah, 62. Okay. This is very nice, shiny and nice. I think the wax is going to give it a duller look, a duller finish. It will probably keep the finish healthier longer. I guess the wax will help seal in the chemicals that Restore Finish put in here to get this look. So I might try that. But but I haven't decided yet. So, there it is. So these aren't the right knobs, but I polished these up. They look okay, and I mean they're not right in that they aren't the they aren't the same knobs that came on this radio, this little tuner. But it doesn't look bad. I may have to do more work on the knobs. But there it is, so it's done. And it plays pretty good. I played around with aligning it. So this works pretty good. I've already shown you how it works. And it's able to get a station up here at 108. Not well, but before I started it wasn't able to get the station that I know was up here. 107.7 I think. So it's working well. So now all I have to do is I had to come up with some screws. The screws are missing, so I found some old slotted screws for the bottom. The back, well, I have 2 screws that don't match. So I think I'm going to just use some more modern Phillips screws that will all match for what it's worth and call this done. I got something else I need to move on to. So anyway, so I'm wrapping this up here. I am pleased with how this came out. I'm very pleased. I've used Restore Finish more than once, and it does a nice job. If your finish is just too far gone, I mean, there are areas where that's true. I mean, the finish on here is just flaking off. You can see spots where the finish is missing. Right there is one. This whole section is kind of and that over there as well. So, but it looks good. It really does. So, I think that's probably as far as I'm going to go with this. I have 2 of these now, so I might try to sell this one. I keep saying that, and then I never find the time to even do that, because the projects are so much more interesting than trying to get things sold. So, but I might one of these days do that, because I really don't need all these things holding down space in my storage area, in my shelves. So I should do that at some point, and I will. But anyway, so I'm wrapping up, and I said moving on to the next thing, and hopefully you'll be watching the next video I put out. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but it's coming. Hopefully I'll see you there. Hopefully you leave comments and subscribe. All of that helps quite a bit. Thanks.